Welcome to Mission Fatigue by the Grumpy Fundraiser. My name is Fran from Structure and Spark, and I'm your host. Welcome to our very first episode. What is mission fatigue? Well, there are a lot of people in the world who want to help. Alone in the United States, there are nearly 2 million nonprofits. And even though I'm being funny by saying the Grumpy Fundraiser, there is a lot of grumpiness in our sector, don't you think? Here we are. We're all trying to do some good in the world. The burnout rate is enormous. The hours are long. The pay is not fantastic. We often end up needing to be super resourceful, finding ways to do more with less, stretching budgets as well as staff and tools, and we have to be. Nonprofits are notoriously understaffed, underpaid, and under-resourced. But why is it like this when we're just out there doing amazing things in the world that aren't being done by other people? How can people in nonprofits keep their energy under the strain of being undervalued, undercompensated, underappreciated, and unseen? Nonprofits need money and they need it from donors, but there are an awful lot of pitfalls in that conversation. But should there be? There's that old, outdated, and incredibly short-sighted nonsense about admin versus projects, which was eventually rescinded by the very grant makers who created it. This was when grant makers decided they would only give to projects and not admin. What a huge mistake. And there are so many people who are still influenced by this. And yet, every business needs administration. Can you imagine garbage pickup without administration? How would food get served in restaurants? Same with grocery stores, doctor's offices, all sorts of shops, and every other business on the planet, even online sellers. How is anybody going to be able to manage anything without administration? This line of thinking was so detrimental to nonprofits. You work like crazy, and then you get people who say, I'm not going to give to you because you have administrative costs. It just doesn't make sense. And even though it doesn't make sense, there are still some people who try to do it. Their websites will say all donations go solely to this project and all admin is donated. Sadly, a lot of those charities eventually fail. You can see it when the website is no longer updated and their donation forms are archaic and they don't respond to inquiries. They're just done, overdone. How can they not fail? Administration is an important part of every business. Then there's this very weird idea and expectation that nonprofits should be able to stretch their dollars further than for-profits. How? Their dollars are the same. They still need to pay people. They need to pay for goods. They have same costs with websites and whatever else, but it's expected of them to spend less. How can they do a good job with less? It's as if we don't look at businesses and nonprofits in the same way, but why not? They have a lot of the same needs. Nonprofits need websites, outreach apps, marketing apps, fundraising apps. Otherwise, how do they get the word out for their services? How can they ask for donations? People who don't work in nonprofits don't really understand that the people who work in those organizations need to be paid appropriately. An executive director needs to earn good money because they're responsible to bring in the expert tactic and the ability to expand and grow the organization. We don't openly doubt corporations who pay their CEOs millions and millions of dollars. Why do we think this way? Why are there memes about how much nonprofit executives make in an effort to shame them? Nonprofits need talent to be successful, and talent costs money. Dan Pallotta has a fantastic TED Talk about this. He talks about how it makes more sense for talent to get a far better paying job in the corporate world and then donate to the nonprofit because they can't earn enough money in a nonprofit. Nonprofit leaders need to be paid appropriately and bring that talent so that the nonprofit they're working for can expand and grow so that they can do all the work they want to do and they can do more of it. I've seen nonprofits with leaders who knew nothing about strategic or operational planning, budgets, marketing, or fundraising. How are they going to be successful? Yes, they can wing it or eke by. That can definitely work for a while. But when they want to expand and do more or hire someone so they can take an hour off, how does that work? They're not trained leaders. They don't bring the tactical ability. It's important to pay our leadership. There's also this whole fundraising arena. It's absolutely fraught with crazy. Grant makers didn't want to give to administration, and that included fundraising, so they weren't supporting organizations to build out robust fundraising programs. But when those grants ended, a lot of those really good organizations folded because they didn't have robust fundraising programs because they couldn't put any money into their administration. If they had, they would have been able to fundraise to make up for the difference of losing a grant in year 4 or whenever. But a lot of them folded. Eventually, big grant makers did see the error of their ways, but at what cost? Because now this whole concept is out there in the public domain, and a lot of people talk about it without understanding what the needs are. How do people expect nonprofits to raise money without fundraising or marketing? Businesses spend billions and billions of dollars to share their products with you and entice you to buy those products. That's how business works. But nonprofits are businesses too, and they need to spend money. They need to tell you what they do. They need to entice you to support their mission. They need to share what amazing work is done with the dollars you donate. So what's the difference here? The only difference I see is how we think about for-profits versus how we think about nonprofits, and that's a choice. This is what Mission Fatigue is about, how to change all that. There are millions of nonprofits that just want to do good in the world, and there are a lot of misconceptions and a lot of things set up in such a way that make nonprofits fail instead of helping them to be successful. How do we change this? How do we figure out what's going on and fix it? How do we look at these issues and turn them around? Mission Fatigue is about what is, why, and what could be in the nonprofit sector. We're going to be talking about everything from job descriptions to websites and everything in between. Thanks for joining me on Mission Fatigue by the Grumpy Fundraiser. My name is Fran with StructureandSpark.com, thanking everyone who works in the nonprofit arena and everyone who donates to nonprofit organizations. See you soon.